Welcome to the channel. In this video, we will be reviewing the Veritas Boxmakers Plow Plane to the record 043. Stick with me. Alright, so here they are side by side. I'm going to try to contain my excitement because I've been really looking forward to this review as soon as I as soon as I found out or heard that Veritas came out with an upgraded 043. So let's get the stats out of the way. This is the record. This is the Veritas. The Veritas comes in at 1 pound 7 ounces. The record comes in at 1 pound 5 ounces. Now this is made out of cast. This is made out of ductile iron. So right there, that's already an upgrade. You drop this one on the floor, it's not supposed to break. You drop this one on the floor, you're probably going to break something. The length of the body, I measured the skate. So the length of the skate on the Veritas is 5.5. On the record, it's 5 7/16. I couldn't read my writing. Now, the length of the fence. So the Veritas comes supplied with a wooden one. That's 5 inches, but the metal part is 4.5. For the record, it's 4 3/8. The max cut depth on both is 3/8, but the record is like just a hair over 3/8, where the Veritas is spot on 3/8. Both of them are bedded at 45 degrees. Price-wise, this is where it gets really tricky because anytime you're dealing with a vintage plane, it's tough. But this one's even tougher because they're usually in the UK and you have to pay the shipping to get it into the States. So, for this one, you could be anywhere between $150 and $200 depending on the condition, if it comes with irons, how much your shipping is, if it's complete, yada yada. The Veritas, $159. And again, it's upgraded, which is exactly what we're going to dive into here. So the very first thing that I want to look at is these fences. So the Veritas, it's simple, okay? They supply you with an Allen key. You undo it here and here, and then it slides out, okay? The fence rods are hooked into the fence, so you don't have to move them at all. You don't have to touch them. The only screws you have to undo are these two right here, okay? When you look at the record, you have these two thumb screws, which adjust the fence, okay? So that takes that off there, but then you have these two screws also. So if you notice, here's the two bodies. I thought these shavings would be cool to have in the video, but I don't think that's working out too well. So here's the two bodies. As you can see, you have the rods for the records going out that way, and this one has no rods on it. So when you set this plane up, you basically can set the plane where you want it and then slide the fence against the board. Or set the fence against the board and slide the plane, okay? Because you only have to do these two screws. When it comes to this one, see, there go the shavings again. If you don't want these rods in your way, you have to take a screwdriver and push them through.
Wow.
And then you can put your fence on and have it out of the way. Okay, so there's 4 things that you have to move here. Now, if you leave it set like this, then okay. Or if you have the rods farther to the side, then okay. But just know that that's something that you have to set up. Oh my goodness. I'm over it. That's something you have to set up and adjust versus them just permanently being attached to the fence. So I really like that improvement. I mean, it doesn't affect the functioning of the plane. It just makes it a little bit easier and less. Yeah, these shavings are not. Let's get these out of here. There we go. So that just adds a little bit more setup to the process. But again, it does not affect the functioning of the plane. You'll still be able to set it and leave it set where it's at. But I'm going to take these out so I can have the rods out of the way. I mean, I guess technically you could put them in here, lock that down, and then put them through here and adjust the fence by using these two screws. But then you're still running into the issue of you have to have a different tool like you do for the Allen keys for this. So, meh. I just like that this is attached to the fence. Maybe that's just me. But anyways. Okay, so here are the two fences. This one kind of looks like Batman. Can I just say that this plane looks like Batman? Like, is that allowed? Maybe that's why I like it so much, because I feel like this is a plain Batman would use. Anyway, sorry. Very unprofessional, Jamie. Here's the record body. Veritas body. Alright, so next let me show you the depth stops. Veritas, it's this thumb screw right here, and there's the depth stop. This one's a thumb screw here, and there's the depth stop. I like that Record has a longer depth stop. I think I use it backwards. I think it's supposed to go this way, but I've always used it that way, so oh well. I like that Record has a longer reference surface, because if you are newer and not as experienced at plow planes and you struggle with it dipping, like you while you're using it, rocking the plane like this helps, okay? So I do wish they would have made the depth stop the same length, but here they are. I do like that Veritas added these, so it's like, doesn't get caught on the corners of the wood. There's a hole on top of this, and I don't know what it's for. Nope, I was hoping it was onboard storage. It's not. Okay, so here is, look how straight the skate is for the Record. It's just flat. It doesn't taper at all. When you look at the Veritas, it tapers. And I like that. The next thing is how you put the irons into the planes. So for the Record, you have this piece that actually comes out. Okay? You put that in there, and then see how this is indented right there? That's made for your thumb, for you to push this iron against the body to square it up. So that's what that is there for. With the Veritas, they gave you this screw right here. So let me take the iron out. So this screw, if you can see it, it's actually lipped, so it pushes the iron for you. So you don't have to put any kind of hand pressure to do this, and it keeps it square. You just tighten that down, and then boom, it's square. And then the cap does not come out. It's held in there. So then you don't have to worry about this piece falling apart, or not falling apart, but getting lost. Like, it's common on the Record to have this piece missing. If you find a Record, you don't have the cap. So I like that they made that permanently attached, that you don't have to try to fiddle with this to get it to fit in there. The other thing of note is the back. So this is more flat. Where you put it on your hand, it's a little bit more flat right there. Then when you look at the Veritas, it's more rounded. And to me, that's more ergonomic, the way that it fits into, like, right here on your hand. I'm not saying that the Record is uncomfortable, other than these irons are really long, but these are aftermarket irons. But I'm not saying it's not comfortable. This is just more comfortable because it's more ergonomic. Okay? Now, that pretty much covers it, other than how it looks. Clearly, the Record irons are going to be old. They're probably laminated steel. I haven't looked into it. I'm not an expert on it. These are replaced. See the cap? That's what happens. But anyways, these are replacement irons. I have the original ones somewhere, but I couldn't find them. But Veritas comes with A2 irons, so that's already an upgrade right there. Now, I know you guys like seeing these planes in use, but it was a waste of footage when it comes to this plane because they perform the same. The only difference is the Veritas felt stronger. It felt more solid and a little bit less resistance, but you're not going to be able to see that in camera. If you want to see the Veritas in use, I have a separate video that I take multiple cuts with, so you can see it in use there. Now, what I mean by less resistance and just a little bit smoother, so the skate on the Veritas, they tapered it down to 1/16. When you get to the Record, it's solid, it's straight. So it's over 1/16, but under an 1/8. So I'm guessing that's probably the difference between, like, adding more resistance. The other difference is the irons I have for the Record are 01. The iron that comes with the Veritas is A2. So that's going to make a difference as well. I'm not getting into the argument about the metals. Now, let's review what Veritas actually upgraded when it comes to this plane. So they made it out of ductile iron. It's a lot more comfortable to use, just how they shaped everything. I love that they made it so this cap is attached and they gave you that brass screw to square up your iron versus you needing to use your thumb with the Record, possibly losing the cap, dropping the cap, breaking it, whatever. I also really like that they made it so the fence is permanently attached to the rods, and you only have to worry about those 2 screws versus 4 when it comes to the Record. Now, I do wish that Veritas would have kept the size of the depth stop. Not a deal breaker, it's just nice to have a little bit more of a reference area. One thing I wish they would have done that no other 043 style plane has is a depth adjuster. If you go watch the other video and you see it in use, you see that I struggle with that a little bit because, okay, you set it, oh, it's a little too deep, let me back it off. Oh, I backed it off too far. Okay, let me set it again. A depth adjuster would have set this one miles apart. Now, it is upgraded, but either plane you pick, it's a good choice. They both function really well. If you can find the Record for cheap, snag it. If you find it for cheap and it doesn't have the irons, the Veritas irons fit it. So just add that into the cost. I think Veritas was very tactful in the price that they set on this plane because it is upgraded and it's about the cost of a Record if you get one complete or if you have to buy irons separate, whatever. So, hopefully this helped answer some questions. If you have a 043 and you're thinking about upgrading, there's your answers. Let us know what you decided down below. If you've tried both of these planes and there's something that I missed or one you like better than the other, let us know. Any questions, any comments, anything like that, let us know. I'm going to really try to not say that 15 times in my outros. Okay, that's what I'm going to be working on. I'm going to try to be more cognizant of that, but I like hearing from you guys. So let us know. All right, don't forget to do the like and subscribe thing. Have a good one.